Yo! Hey guys! How you doing, man? We're back again today, man, and we're going to be doing the side of India that the West doesn't know about. Side of India, the West doesn't know about.
I guess we're the West, right?
Everyone, even America, even us, even, like, I think maybe the West.
Everyone else knew
So, bro,
And you come across this. This
I love
we
such
genuinely
videos,
thought was abandoned.
when a person is exploring the town and showing like real things.
nice editing.
We're about to embark in a 33-hour
it's-
flight
Costa Rica.
Is he made?
across the world to India.
I think he has a
Frankfurt, Germany.
Before I came to India, there was one word in my head to describe this country: chaotic.
Yeah, it does seem like
Ah.
We're not in a car.
Or maybe it's the opposite. They're going to show us the good side of it.
Yeah.
That our side of the world has about India, and you can blame Hollywood.
Yeah.
Just statistics without a lot of context. But the truth is that our image of India is incomplete. And I've struggled with this for years. I know firsthand how many tech companies are coming out of India. Many of them are good friends of mine. I know how much people in tech make and how much that contrasts with the rest of the country.
Been offers as high as 2 crore rupees per annum for IIT
I
graduates.
know how many of you watching are from India. But why? Why do so many companies come out of India? What advantages do they have for being here? What kind of life do entrepreneurs and startup employees live when they're making 10 times what the rest of the country is making? From the other side of the world, we just don't understand it. I don't understand it. So I needed to experience India myself. I spent 2 weeks talking to founders, experiencing Indian food and culture, and discovering a new side of India. A side of India that us Westerners hardly ever talk about, and that I had no idea was so big. More importantly, I discovered how statistics just fail miserably at painting a full picture of what India is like. I discovered how this chaos that we perceive is really a pool of innovation for tech companies, and how technology is transforming this country neighborhood by neighborhood and city by city.
So that's also India. Okay. Looking forward to it.
Back in 2017, I hired our first employee,
It didn't happen.
this talented UX designer, and he told us his salary expectation was $4,000. And I looked into every single statistic about Indian median income, and I could not wrap my head around it.
Is concerned, we have around 95 million entered extreme poverty just in 2020.
The average adult in India makes around $2,600 per year. That's $220 a month. That means a salary of $4,000 or $48,000 a year puts you well into the 10% of income for the country. But there is so much more to this. For starters, that $220 a month income would allow most people to live a comfortable life.
I think my yearly salary when I started my career in Wipro per month, I was getting paid $250-300. Back then, I was able to survive with that. I got my own car. I used to drive like 40 kilometers up and down every day.
If you compare the price of groceries here in India, they're about 70% cheaper for the same product of the same brand.
Oh,
That bracket of 10%
So
earners in
it's- I
India,
think
that's 130 million people. That's more than the entire population of these countries. India is big, vast. It will soon outgrow China as the most populated country in the world. And there is that reality that Hollywood loves to exploit. That's only part of it. What I experienced was high-income cities like Bengaluru or Chennai, where tech and startup jobs are giving people transformative income.
There's a lot of action on the markets. I've seen the city grow, literally grow out, right? From a time when we had just one place which is the city center to go hang out. Now there are so many micro markets. India does not have the kind of exits that US has, but there have been some exits, very high profile exits, which have minted millionaires overnight.
In 2021, India saw thousands of new tech startup companies founded and 46 new unicorns. A good chunk of those are based out of Bengaluru, Chennai, and Delhi. And you can see that concentration of companies. You can see coffee shops and the co-working spaces. Do you know where we're going? The hotel. Okay, so you can only withdraw 10,000 rupees. That's the max.
Per day.
Oh, come on! Can't get money from neither of my accounts, which means we have we have some dollars, not rupees, that we need to exchange.
Ah, that's very
I
stressful.
feel uneasy.
And you're
about
in a foreign
using that
country.
Yeah, that's
any
really.
local currency.
Oh, the guy was a Christian.
Yeah, that's a nice hotel.
So the reason I'm working late today is because, well, our team in New York is daylight for them. But for the most part, because today we released the biggest product update to our product just yet. So Slidebeam is not a travel vlogging channel that makes cool videos, although I very much enjoy that part of my job. But what we actually do is we run a platform for startups and entrepreneurs to validate their business ideas and get their documents ready to pitch investors and raise capital. As a venture-backed company ourselves, we went through this pain of getting rejected by investors and having to rethink our story and to estimate our financials. And we made it our mission to consolidate all of this, everything that we've learned, into a single place to help other entrepreneurs navigate this mess and not make the same mistakes that we made. Go check it out if you haven't. I found two large trends with Indian startups. On one hand, tech for India. Those are like your payment gateways and your delivery apps. They're solving local problems and adapting technology that already exists in the West for a local market that companies like Uber just couldn't figure out themselves. So I just woke up from my jet lag nap and I am really hungry right now, so I just need to order some food. Was that okay? And on the other hand, SaaS and enterprise tech. As a founder, you are probably their customer without even knowing that they're based out of India. They understand how to sell to US customers. They understand how to compete in that world stage. More importantly though, the rise of tech startups means that more and more people understand how tech can transform their lives. The city is home to hundreds of colleges and universities. It graduates thousands of software engineers every year. They are joining the workforce with a good chance of making an income their families and the rest of India would never have access to. As a kid, for you as a kid, did you understand how tech could make your life so different?
I'm almost 40 years old. I was growing up, like, tech wasn't, didn't exist ever. Today, even among the people that we've hired, we've had so many people who joined us while they were still in college. But then again, that contrast is significant. Like, if I speak to some of my younger cousins or nieces who are in, tier 2, tier 3 cities, they don't know. I should probably explain what this tier system means. India uses a tier system to classify their cities. Essentially, they have cities going from tier 1 to tier 6, and they're generally classified by population. That's the official classification. So a tier 1 city will have 100,000 inhabitants or more. Tier 2 city will have 50 to 100,000 inhabitants, and so on.
Tier 4, I guess, would be like a very small town. And so you have people coming from these places. They don't come from means, right? They don't have a good family name. They don't have connections. They didn't go to a good school.
I think that what you have to understand about these tiers, it's this contrast that we have from the India that we've been painted to, which is probably cities that are not tier 1. This is a reality of India that we did not get to explore, and I don't pretend to understand. It's what surprises about India is just how different tier 1 cities are from what we expected it would be, and just this incredible access to opportunity, and how people are slowly beginning to understand how a job in tech can transform their lives.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Doctor. Police. I want to become a good architect and serve the society.
I think the gap between somebody going to a good university here and what they might make versus going to like a tier 3 or a bit lower college and what you would make is huge. So cost of education at all levels has increased dramatically.
The criticism has been that private universities charge very high fees and there's no cap on that.
When I did my MBA 13 years back
in India,
the cost of that degree to what it is today is almost 6x.
There is so much more pressure on you as a kid to get to a good school and get to a good college and get to a, become a computer engineer and get to a tech job.
We know that India has this very ambitious plan to become a global electronic hub.
In Chennai, the bubbles that these high-income jobs create are visible and they're tangible. You pass them by as you drive, and you see the contrast, brutal, side by side. So this is the IT Express. Like, this is where a lot of the companies here in Chennai have their offices, universities, like tech schools. By all means, they look like a super developed, fancy, cool tech building area. If you turn around on the other side, there's this building which looks completely abandoned. We thought it was abandoned as we drove by, but no, like it operates. Train stuff.
Oh, so that's the building.
And we were there maybe 15 minutes, and then this lady came in really, really, really angry, demanding us to go with her, which got us a little scared. Yeah, it turns out that you can't shoot video inside a train station. But Bengaluru, on the other hand, it feels like the entire city is that bubble.
We've been doing research about Bangalore, trying to understand what goes on in the city.
You can
Not
take
seen
videos
a
of
single
pictures.
reference about Bangalore.
Why?
That
Okay,
I
presents
always
it
wonder, in
as
the
a scene that we
cartoon,
have.
you're not allowed to
And this
take
is,
a picture
if this is
or
across the
video.
street from our hotel, which is not a fancy hotel, that means that
Yeah,
our
of
hotel
course,
like this
you
before
have
the
to
city.
hide.
Maybe the street noise is a clue, but either way, this is not the picture of India that I had.
Inequality, unequal society.
Inequality is once again a common theme when discussing India. And it's real. India is one of the most unequal countries in the world. But once here, it's what I thought I was going to experience. And that takes me back to that $4,000 salary. That is transformative money, but it transforms lives differently.
Indians love to save. The one thing that a lot of Indians aspire to is to buy a home.
In general, the savings rates in India is pretty high, right? Like, so people always have a very high, like, I want to save and I want to buy a house.
Meanwhile, the country still holds on to its roots in spite of all this change.
For example, eating out is a relatively new phenomenon in India, right? Like, people would not eat out so much. If you speak to a lot of people, from my parents' generation, they look at eating out as like, oh, you didn't have the means to cook at home, right? Like, it's not that something they would look forward to. They would do it if they needed to, like if they were traveling. And even if they were traveling, a lot of people would actually carry their supplies and cook there.
In the end, these salaries mean opportunity.
In India, it's very easy to get domestic help. Right? You want a nanny for your kid, you want a driver to drive the car, you want somebody to come get cook for you.
Everybody here probably has like at least one or two people, doing cleaning and cooking for them. That person is probably making around 500.
All of this is happening in one of the world's youngest countries, a country on its way to being the most populated in the world. Imagine the potential that India has. Thousands of young professionals earn big salaries in the careers that are shaping the present and future, with more on the way. When we covered Silicon Valley, we talked about that network effect, we talked about access to capital, we talked about talent and the concentration of startups in the same place. And all of that is here. And add to that the fact that Indian entrepreneurs understand selling to developed countries the same way they understand selling to developing countries.
Have you heard of this term, jugaad? Just, creating something out of nothing. That's one of my favorite parts of this ecosystem personally, and I love that word, and I hope you remember it.
Cities like Bengaluru are a bridge. They're at crossroads of two worlds that can disrupt each other. So there is no doubt that a new Silicon Valley is not far from the horizon. But there's something else here. India is a country with a fascinating history that has learned to evolve with the times. We actually explore this in depth in our next video of Startup Planet, where we look at the entire history of Bengaluru and how it became the tech hub that it is today. For today's point, this engineer's salary is transformative. A transformative salary that ensures a future. Now, I'm not talking about a future from themselves. This is a future for the entire country.
Nice. Gave credits to the last part.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is a very informative video.
So it was it was a lot eye-opening.
Yeah, it does realize a lot of things. And
I understood now. It's like the side of maybe I say Africa, the West doesn't know about. It's because of the media. They keep
show
showing you
us.
this and these movies.
there's that trending sound that is trending
Ah,
in TikTok,
yeah,
like
yeah.
me, I have
Documentary.
90 kids.
Yeah.
That's how people think Africans. Yeah, it's just like us here. How people
It's the
look
documentaries.
like how
the old
Africans
the
are.
media
shows
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Okay, now I understand. Now I understand.
But there's also the other side.
Yeah. Me too, like at first I thought like when you get into India it's traffic jams. Yeah, but in reality when you get there, there are places that
The places.
that populated, there are places that are fancy, there are places, yeah. Wow, that was nice.
It was a nice video. Really needed to see it, and thank you. Stay safe. Stay tuned to the next video.
Peace.